Hello everybody, welcome back. This is Anna from Astralladytarot, and today I want to talk to you about embodying the Queen of Wands, which just so happens to be something that Candy Soul and Soil talked about a while ago now on her channel. So I couldn't have imagined a better Unasked for VR. I like to do those, you know that. And so her video will be linked below as well, and it will be all in the Unasked for VR playlist that I have. I mostly want to talk about all the things that I thought embodying this archetype would bring me, and then how it manifested in a different way. You know, I kind of believe in this thing. I can ask for something and it will come to me, but in a different form and a different way that I most of the time did not anticipate, could not have anticipated. You know, I want to mention all the aspects I can think of that embody this energy in case you want to do the same thing. This was a conscious decision for me to use the Queen of Wands. I feel that I kind of lack her energy sometimes, or some aspects of her energy, and so I wanted to, you know, bring that in a little bit more, embody the Queen of Wands. And so about all of these aspects in my daily life at the moment that embody this energy, that align with this energy, you know, I want to talk about how those are in my life right now, and how those kind of things have been coming up, and yeah, they have been coming up for a while now, so I wanted to talk about all of this. I did a live ritual over on my Patreon in January, waking up the energy the Queen of Wands stands for. So I did that with a group of my patrons. We made a sigil for the Queen of Wands. I've kept that for myself, but you know, we went through the whole process and made it into a ritual, the whole sigil making. So that was a lot of fun, and it was great bringing up that energy, you know, with a group of people at the same time, even if it is just sigil making, but you know, put your own twist on it. And I mostly want to, I think with this kind of like a recap almost, even though it's still going on, but it's not like in the very first stages that it was when I got the idea to embody her, or to bring in her energy back in December 2020. You know, I'm a little bit further along the process now, and so I want to talk about the good things, but then also the not so good things. Anyway, the Unasked for VR playlist, including Candy's video, and my Patreon are all linked in the description box. So let's get into the Queen of Wands qualities. So first of all, why the Queen of Wands? The Queen is water, the Wands I consider fire. So I like to work with elements anyway, because I get a lot out of it, you know, meaning-wise and feeling-wise. It's just, you don't even have to know the meaning in your head. You kind of feel it in your body in a sense. So pretty early on in 2020, I don't know if you remember, but you were here for that probably. I talked about it on my channel. I wanted to work with the element of fire more. So this meant that I chose 3 words to work with, to focus on, to ignite this fiery power within me. I chose chaos, magma, and freedom. So it's still words that really feel really good, but I was thinking about those words, you know, sure, in the literal sense, meaning I was burning candles more and burning things more as a way to cleanse or send something out into the universe. It's more, I wanted to this was all pre-shift in practice video and moment, obviously, where I was already thinking about, I just want to do more with that active sense. I was very much a mind person, and you know, still am, but with a spiritual practice I also kind of feel like I want to do more, and that's a big thing with still now the Queen of Wands. But it started off as just the element of fire. Anyway, I was thinking with those 3 words, mostly figuratively, you know, rekindling that passion for something special. As I said, doing more, acting more, which actually later on ignited the shift in my practice and my biggest altar level up so far in several stages. But yeah, the biggest shift was definitely getting the new table, fixing it up, and yeah, giving it a whole new feel and also purpose, because Well, I talked about it in another video. It's linked. So at some point I made a video about a sigil that I made. This was 2 summers ago, I believe. Or maybe 1 summer. What is time? Anyway, I made a video about a sigil that I'd made and my magical experiences with that sigil and around it, you know. I was implementing a lot of, I have this black obsidian yoni egg that I just use as an Orphic egg symbolism, and a serpent shaped candle holder, which I just put together, and there you go, Orphic egg symbolism on my altar. I don't have that anymore, but I still have this beauty, and I'm happy to have this thing. But I was implementing a lot of Orphic egg imagery and quality in my practice, which I see as something that, you know, is quite fiery. The Orphic egg, to me, it corresponds to the chaos part of that, those 3 words that I chose, the fiery aspect. So I will link it so you know what I'm talking about, all of that. Fire at the same time mostly meant to me to be more assertive, to be more bold, to emanate confidence, and, you know, a certain, I guess, don't mess with me attitude. But in a good, secure, possibly calm way. Well, maybe not just only fire, but with element of water implemented in there with the Queen of Wands, certainly. Anyway, which all of those things were things that I needed to wake up a little bit more, and I know that, you know, wake up some dormant aspects in the way that I was basically presenting myself to the world. So I believe it was always inside of me, all of these things, but as I said, I needed a jolt of energy from time to time, a jolt of energy from time to time. So most of all, especially today, which I also see very much in the Queen of Wands, it's actually, right now, it's more helpful in the sense of it's about creativity. It's about doing something creative every day, you know, make something every day, which can just be a kind of devotional thing for that particular archetype, actually. So I've made this sort of pact with her, I just have the Thoth Queen of Wands here, but yeah, I chose her first because I really like that in the Thoth deck, or Thoth deck, I don't know how to say this now, but I think Thoth, I'm trying, the Thoth deck. I really like that everything is from this below perspective. So she looks so important and huge, and to me she is. You know, she's not the only tarot card that I used for this intention, but I really like this one. So anyway, I made a kind of a pact with her, you know, with it's like a promise. Now, it's not as if I think of this consciously every day at this point. You know, it's more like, it's more natural, it's more organic, because I also realize there is a terribly unhealthy pattern with me and the element of fire, which is one of the bad things. I don't seem to handle every aspect of it very well. Probably because I have a lot of passion in life, but I feel like it's manifesting through another element in a way. Like that passion is much more watery in a sense, or even earthy, maybe even air. But fire, I have trouble understanding and feeling. And so that is why, you know, trying to bring that in. But I have noticed with the bringing in the fire element and then embodying the Queen of Wands yet again, that I have this pattern that is, yeah, it's just difficult for me to handle fire very well, because I guess I am not very, I don't know, I don't know it that well. And so, yeah, I have to get to know it and know how to deal with these feelings and thoughts and things that come along with it. I do see her manifesting in my daily life, though, which is good, because it's a good thing, this creativity part of it. It's not so much about my presentation to the world anymore. It's not so much about you know, being bold and all that stuff. It kind of comes out through the creativity part of this archetype. So I love the Queen of Wands because, sure, we can all have her inside of us, but in me, she often feels dormant, just like the element of fire. I guess we all want what we don't have, right? But I think this is still a good thing. I'm kind of like, you know, working on myself, making everything come together a little bit, yeah, more together, I guess. I think that in spite of not handling fire very well, because it kind of flips to the dark side, I guess, I benefit off of her particular energy. Hence, the Queen of Wands, ritual, sigil, overall embodiment, but bringing it back to something good. So I believe we actually do have the power to flip the coin on an intention that seems to be coming out wrong. We can still achieve what we were going for, just taking a few steps back, I guess, and taking another turn, which is still in the general direction of the goal in mind. Whatever we send out works like a boomerang anyway. You know, this is what I believe, we get it, but it's always different than we thought, as I said in the beginning. And these are just my findings. Like, I have a video about that whole thought process. You'll also find that in the info cards. But anyway, as I've said, I've made a promise to the Queen of Wands, and this promise thing really came to the surface in a reading I got that I talked about in my 2020 favorites video. The type of reading I got from Manuela from Place of Stillness, she's also here on YouTube, that ends with the type of energy that we can call in. So there's this reading that she does that in the end we can ask, we get the question, what type of energy do you think would help you right now? I chose the Queen of Wands because, yeah, that's just what felt right. To make it work, to take it seriously, this goal-setting thing, we need to make a promise to this energy to basically honor a kind of agreement with it. Like, I'm holding up my side of the bargain, you know? So it's no longer, because it's been a while, right? It's been a few months, I guess. It's no longer every day, every single day I do something, but actually it's more in retrospect. I think, hey, that was this artistic creative side that came out, and I made something today. I made something useful, something that I like and that made me feel good and all that stuff, right? So yeah, the creativity aspect yet again. But I love that this is a card that we choose ourselves. So I thought the Queen of Wands would help me along reaching this particular goal that I had set for myself, you know, through this reading, really, because it makes things quite clear on what needs to be done, which is what tarot can do. Thank you very much. And, you know, with what I wanted to achieve, of course. And that was pretty magical for me because what was pretty magical about it was that I liked that spread she did so much that I tried replicating it for myself at home the day after, I believe, with the Living Altar Oracle deck. And lo and behold, the last card I chose was the Cleansing card, which, upon closer inspection, is the watery part of fire, also known as the Queen of Wands. I really, really honestly did not realize at the time, you know, when I picked this card, that it was the Queen of Wands correspondence. I literally went through my deck and picked out this red fiery card that said Cleansing, and then afterwards discovered that it corresponded to the Queen of Wands. So that was really magical. Twice in a row with very different decks, I chose the very same energy, and that is when I was very sure, okay, I need to do something to properly embody her, I guess. So, I see the Queen of Wands in several things in my life. There's a clear red thread again. So when it comes to decks, I was thinking because this is more like a recap, right? The 4 decks that I bought and kept in 2020, I allowed myself a maximum of 4 new decks. I got the Crow's Magic Tarot, another Thoth Greenie to work with for clients so that they can, you know, touch the cards, and I feel fine about that. The Living Altar Oracle and the El Gran Tarot Esoterico. Now, apart from that last one, which really just made the cut, if you will, in the decks that I added to my collection last year, they are all fiery decks. The Crow's Magic Tarot is dark, but it's so, you know, vibrant. It's like a flame in the darkness, I feel. Then the Thoth, of course, is all about the will, and I think that's very fiery. And the Living Altar with all the red, there's red, I don't know, gilding, and it's just very raw, all this passion, you know, all the cards are like this. These are very fiery and red, but there is a lot of red in this deck. There is a lot of crazy raw feel, I think, this raw artwork, and it has this rebel energy. So that means it's so fiery, so much fire there. Even falling in love with the color red again in 2020 was a thing that happened. And as you can see in the Living Altar especially, and actually my altar itself also, right after the switch in practice, there was all of a sudden a lot of red. I never had red on my altar. And then now what my altar looks like now, it's even more hilarious because it's full of sunflowers, you can tell, right? Sunflowers everywhere. They even go all the way up here and here and here. It's funny because I didn't even consciously think of the Queen of Wands Rider-Waite-Smith energy when I ordered these fake sunflowers. I honestly just needed some cheering up that day, and I figured I would get myself some yellow to go in the house to brighten up the space. And yeah, I realized that, of course, in the Rider-Waite-Smith Queen of Wands, she's holding a sunflower, just like in the Sun card, there are a lot of sunflowers, and the Queen of Wands is holding a sunflower. So yeah, I mean, this is all just all of these things that are yet again, you know, falling into place, making sense together. There's another thing that I think the Queen of Wands is perhaps more aware of than the other queens, the power of dressing up. So there's this whole line that goes through what's going on now with that. I feel that the Queen of Wands, she is go all out, you know, dressing up, or just a fun detail, but something that catches the eye, at least, if it's just a detail. Now, I definitely don't do this every day. I will never do this every day. This is just not my style, but there's definitely power in just feeling good in one's skin, obviously, right? I feel there needs to be a little bit of fire in there to achieve that. No? That's what I think, at least. Now, there's also power in not dressing up or doing something extra. Just be exactly how we are. Those two things are different sides of the same coin, I guess. Talking about confidence, talking about feeling good and feeling just very, yeah, good with oneself, I guess. Good with yourself. And so there is this doing something extra, dressing up over on this side that makes you feel a little bit extra glamorous, fabulous, right? Like the Queen of Wands. Or on the other hand, just like me today, sure, I'm wearing something that is kind of reddish, but just, yeah, feeling the same way without doing all of that. Does that make sense? I feel that those two mindsets are still connected to the Queen of Wands energy. I don't know. Right now, I am, as I said, emphasizing doing something that is in our control to feel good. So, you know, basically to make the mundane a little bit more special. And it can really just, this whole energy, give a much needed boost. The Queen of Wands is bold. I think embodying her means to learn to fully own just all of this, everything more. So I'm talking about who you are, what you stand for, your personal practice, how you choose to spend your time, etc. Just all of you. I'm also exploring, as I said, her creative side. So if you want to join me in embodying her strong side, there are some things that I've listed. Choose to do something creative every day, even if you're still in lockdown. Make something every day. It can be anything from making a huge artwork on the walls, you know, whatever, to just doing your makeup or making a very small but creative journal entry. You know, it's about expressing oneself in a way. Then there's also do something fun every day, because the Queen of Wands, she understands the importance of fun, right? Be the fullest version of yourself, if you will, even if you're still in lockdown. Big disclaimer on this whole thing, right? But anyway. Now, for me, it's, as I said, not all playing out as in the everyday thing, but the important thing is to just, in spite of some setbacks with, you know, understanding how I'm supposed to handle this fiery energy and this Queen of Wands energy, it's basically just about having this strong lust for life, which I'm convinced the Queen of Wands has. She understands the lust for life. So, even in hard times, know that within yourself there is this Queen of Wands energy, there is this watery pot of fire, there's this cleansing kind of thing, I guess, right? That understands the importance of having fun, the importance of choosing something creative to do every day, no matter how big or how small, and to have this, yeah, still what you do have, this lust for life. I think that that's what I'm taking away from this experience so far. And I'm completely okay with it, you know, staying that way. So it's been quite a ride. I hope I made myself clear in how there were definitely ups and definitely downs. You know, like with everything. But here I feel like whenever I'm talking about fire, it's more emphasized. Yeah, it's more on the surface. It's more on the forefront. It's more, it's bigger in my life, and it's bigger in like the mental states, the mindset that I have at least. Anyway, there you go. I wanted to share all of this with you. I hope you enjoyed. You know, to let you know what's going on at the moment, basically, and where my head is at. I hope this inspires someone, and maybe it gives you guys some ideas to try out for yourself. Thank you all so much for listening to this, to getting this far, and please let me know if you feel like doing something creative every day, you know, what that would be, or if you're already doing that, that would be great to hear. Inspire other people in the comments below, you know, and let me know if you're ever taken a deep dive with an archetype of some sorts or anything like that, similar to what I'm doing right now. So I'd love to hear all of that, and I will see you all very soon.